everybody, it's Patrick Sheridan, and welcome. Thanks for tuning in to the 2015 Illinois SuperState Concert Band Festival. I am here with Victor Anderson, one of the directors at Yorkville High School. Welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. So you guys were the Class 3 Honors Band from 2014, right?
Yes, correct.
So you're come back this year to play again. And you played Gumsuckers March from Granger and
Yes.
Give Us the State, David Maslanka. So when you're getting ready for a festival like this where you know that there's loads of great bands and you're going to get a chance to play for an august panel like this, how do you put your program together?
Well, first of all, I think that's like one of the most nerve-wracking parts of this whole thing is selecting that music. And of course, as the honors band, you have a whole year to prepare for that because you know it's coming up. And I think that comes to play when I was picking the music for this year. And I looked at, every year I see so many great bands here, and I think, okay, in comparison, what are our program's strengths, and where do I feel like we're lagging behind some of these other great bands? Mm-hmm. And so this past year, I thought we could use something that a little more technical. Which is why we picked the Granger and the Maslanka. So really for educational purposes, that's what our kids need, so that's what we're going to do. And certainly it needs to be, the Maslanka is a pretty epic piece of music, and this is an epic festival in an epic hall, and so we choose music based on that too.
Yeah, it fit.
Like what's going to sound great in Follinger Great Hall. So
So you've been doing this for 17 years, and you've been at Yorkville for 13.
Mm-hmm.
Might have heard that right?
Mm-hmm.
How does it, when you rolled out of school and you started teaching, and then you weren't programming David Maslanka in your first year out of school, right?
No.
So how did you develop into being able to feel comfortable that you could say, look at your high school band and go, hey, here's David Maslanka's Give Us the State?
Yeah, well, actually, it's funny because in the warm-up room today, I told the kids, first time I was ever in this auditorium, I was in 7th grade at Illinois Summer Youth Music Band Camp here, and little did I ever know that I would be conducting a band in this hall someday.
How fun!
I think when I was a young teacher, I taught for a couple of years at Galesburg High School, and one of my mentors there, Dean Petrie, took his band to SuperState, and really that was my first exposure to the festival. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I set that as a career goal for myself, and 13 years ago when I started at Yorkville, there was 40 kids in the band, and it was a disaster. But after a while of just having really high goals and a strong vision, we got to this point, and again, as you gain experience in the profession, you gain knowledge in repertoire. So,
yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Well, I was prompting because I wanted you to say that's for the young music educators that are listening, because I think that so often that's one of the areas that causes stress in a program of a new educator is misprogramming, misdiagnosing what your strengths and weaknesses are, programming too difficult, and maybe not always programming appropriate to the occasion either.
Correct.
So those are great things.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's pretty unique to this festival is that nearly everything on the program is appropriate and right for this festival. So
that's great. So tell me about I've said this to everybody else too. It's like, okay, so I show up and I'm your new assistant and I don't know anything and I've just rolled out and I graduated from my music ed program and at Illinois Wesleyan University where you went, that's your alma mater, and I'm going to come work for you, and you want me to be successful over the course of the next 5 years. What are the skills that I need to hopefully be showing up with, but then the ones that I definitely need to acquire to make that transition into being a great new young teacher?
Well, I would say, the knowledge of the repertoire, again, it comes over time, but I would say take a vested interest in learning that and learning what's good and what might not be great. And then, I also think that you need to find role models, whether that be another educator or whether that be a program. But I think that if you can find another school or someone that you can call on and ask questions to, or that you can use as like a vision, and that may change over time. I mean, again, when I started at Yorkville, it was one neighboring school district, and at this point in my career and where we are now, it's a different neighboring school district, you know. But like, you know, I think to myself, well, what would this director do, or how would this school handle it? And I think just finding the mentors and having a vision, it really helps. But you know, I also think, you know, the band directing job is not a 8 to 3 job, and so like you know, you have to be a little bit consumed, you know, and even in your personal life about like literature and listening to the repertoire and really wanting to be good at it. So
yeah, absolutely. It's a lifelong pursuit.
it is.
To be good at it, I think, for sure. Those are great words. It's a lovely sage advice, and incidentally, all falling in the same range of what everybody else has said. It's like organization's one of the keys, learning the repertoire is one of the keys, and a passion for it, so that you're you know, sort of armed for these enormously long days that are a part of getting the job done and doing it well for the students that are hungry for it.
Yeah.
You know, that's great. What was your instrument? What's your instrument? What do you
Trombone.
play? Trombone. Fellow bass clef dweller.
That's right.
Excellent.
I've enjoyed all of your bass clef jokes over the last 2 days.
Thank you. Well, it's great to have you here. So what's left for the school year for you guys at Yorkville?
We are, well, it's funny because you asked Chip that from McCracken, and he was like, well, we have a concert in a week, so I'm going to pass out new music on Monday.
Yeah.
You know, we were like appalled at that. But that's the McCracken way. They're an amazing junior high band that we look up to as role models as well in Yorkville.
Absolutely.
For us, though, we're going to be preparing for graduation, and we really take pride in the way that we prepare for graduation, because, you know, there's about an hour from when they open the doors to when the ceremony starts, and we look at that as like one of our biggest audiences that we can play music for. So we'll program, you know, 11 or 12 tunes and play during that whole time. You know, it's background ceremonial music, but again, there's appropriate and inappropriate music to program for graduation, and so we always get, you know, that's always a wonderful experience for our kids and for thousands of people that come to our graduation. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great. Victor, thanks so much for taking the time to come and talk to us.
Thank you. It's a hoot. You guys are doing a great job. It's a blast to watch, and really appreciative that you're here doing this. And thanks to banddirector.com.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to do it. And congrats, and tell hearty congrats to all your students from us.
Very good. Thank you.
Please,
Will
yeah,
do.
you bet.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming by. Good to see you.